in the world right now. A whole lot happening in the world right now. We're going to cover as many things as we can on this call today. So again, welcome to Coffee and Crypto. I'm grateful for each and every single one of you all to be here. And listen, you don't have to expect anything less today than bullish content. I'm about to get back. Make sure you guys follow what this guy is saying. I did it before I went to sleep last night. I wrote down the 6 most important things to me. And I'm gonna make sure I do that over the next 30 days. And I want you to do it with me as well. Every night, write down the 6 most important things that is most important to you in order for you to get. I dropped it inside of our Discord. If you started in the Discord last night before you went to sleep and you wrote down those top 6 things, drop a number 6. And if you didn't, I would recommend that you get on top of it right now. Let's go.
Tremendously effective method will take all the confusion out of your life. You'll never find yourself running around in circles wondering what to do next. Remember, as you do, to live the best you can one day at a time. You need not worry about tomorrow or the next day or what's going to happen at the end of the month. One day at a time, handled successfully, will carry you over every hurdle. It will solve every problem. You can relax in the happy knowledge that successful acts make successful days, which in turn build a successful life. This is the kind of unassailable logic no one can argue with. It'll work every time for every person. The reason for writing down what you consider only the most important things to do is obvious. Handling each act during the day successfully is important to the degree of the importance of the acts themselves. Doing a lot of unnecessary things successfully can be pretty much of a waste of time. Make certain that the acts you take the time to do efficiently are important acts which move you ahead steadily toward your goal. So often youngsters in school worry about a passing grade. They think of all they'll have to do before the end of the school year. Following this course of action, they can stop worrying completely and count on excellent grades. Freshmen in high school and college are frequently plagued by doubts as to whether or not they'll be able to successfully complete the 4 years ahead and graduate. 4 years seem like such a long time to them, almost forever. And this thought sometimes leads to a sort of giving up, a fear of failure. It was the great Harvard teacher and psychologist William James who said, in effect, let no student worry about the success of his efforts. If he will do each day as best he can the work which is before him, he will wake up one day to find himself one of the competent ones of his generation. Student, housewife, older person, or breadwinner, this plan works for everybody. It removes doubt, fear, and worry and brings order into our lives. All any of us needs to do is face each day as it comes, in good cheer, knowing that we have only to succeed today to guarantee our future. In this way, we'll move steadily ahead, growing more competent, more confident with the passing of every day. Others may seem to suddenly shoot up faster and possibly fall much farther and operate in spurts and fits, but it is to the steady that the rewards are eventually paid. St. Edmund of Canterbury was right when he said, work as though you would live forever, but live as though you would die today. Now try writing down the 6 most important things you have to do tomorrow, then number them in the order of their importance. First thing tomorrow morning, tackle number 1 and stay with it until it's completed. If something should force its delay, move on to number 2, but take them in order and finish them in order as best you can. Try not to get sidetracked by people or things in successfully accomplishing each act of your day. And there's nothing mysterious.
Let's go. Hey, we are live. Let me go ahead and make sure that we're live and we get the audio recorded so we can get it up on Apple Podcasts and everywhere else. Amazing. Welcome to Coffee and Crypto, episode number 42. I think we're 42 in right now, if I'm not mistaken. Hey, if I'm right, man, for people that's been following us since day one, just go ahead and drop a number 7 in the chat box. Let's light it up. We're my Coffee and Crypto fan. Drop some coffees in the chat box. And if this is your first time on a call, you want to go ahead to your emojis. You want to go over to your emojis right now. All right, go over to your emojis and make sure that you find that coffee emoji and get it right. Get it ready, because everything that we're going to talk about today is extremely hot. Everything litty, I love when it's hot. Welcome to Coffee and Crypto, where we keep it hot. All right, so today's call is going to be amazing. All right, I don't think Travis was able to get on the call today, so I'm going to hold this one down for the fam. I'm going to hold this one down for the team. Today is going to be like, it's going to be like day one, except we're definitely a lot more improved. We have a true goal for this show now, and it's not really about how many people get on the show. But today's show is really, well, this show, the way it's transformed, it first started off with me just doing this show because I'm a researcher. I love researching crypto. I have it. So on my six, I'll tell you guys, on my 6 goals, I got them right here, right? The 6 6 important things for tomorrow, right? The first thing is starting my day with a stretch, a run, a workout, right? Drinking a bottle of water before the run, right? Second thing is looking at my calendar and following the major activities on my calendar. So after I'm done with my run, I need to go look at my calendar and I need to follow those major activities that I already have pre-programmed, whether that is a consultation, whether that is a one-on-one with one of the Vincent Owens Group students, whether that is me speaking on a podcast, whatever it is, I got to make sure that I have that planned out. And then also on that day, I also plan out the minor activities, which are the things that I didn't think about before I went to bed, things that are more minor, because you don't want to major on minor things. You want to major on major things. Number 3, shout out to CT. Number 3, I'm going to research how blockchain and real estate are working together, right? Because that's another space. Because again, you got to find your niche in this space. You got to really find your niche. You got to find your niche in the space, right? I learned that. And so you got to find that niche. So what is that niche for you? Is it blockchain and cannabis? Is it blockchain and retail? Is it blockchain? But you got to figure out how to take this information and make it real, because blockchain is real. It gets real in blockchain. And we're going to notice that if we don't transition our companies, if we don't transition ourselves of what we know and take this knowledge and apply it other places, if we just focus on buying crypto and that's it, holding crypto, trading XRP, if that's all you're focused on, we got to get it together, family, right? So my 4th thing is to do some cold calling, right? For my businesses. I want to cold call people. I need to be cold calling people, trying to figure out, okay, what is going on? Hey, what do you need? A lot of people take that as, oh, he trying to sell me. Yeah, I'm trying to sell you something. Of course, I absolutely am. Everybody's trying to sell you something. But what you got to realize is this, right? What you got to realize is sometimes people are calling, and I know that some of you all have done network marketing before. Some of you all have created your own platform where you educate people on crypto on the side. Maybe you do consultation on the side. Whatever it is that you choose to do to be able to formulate another stream of income for you and yours, don't allow for just because you get a bunch of no's or a bunch of people that's not interested to stop you from cold calling. So cold calling is a part of my 6 most important things that I was going to do for today. The 5th thing is I have to make sure that I research and organize for the latest crypto news and education for these podcast episodes. I have a duty here. I have to make sure that I'm always on top of my game. Because if I'm not on top of my game, I know somebody else is going to be on top of theirs, right? So you always gotta pledge the allegiance of being on top of your game, doing the research. And the 6th thing for me that I'm working on, the most important things is working on a few pages of my new book that is coming out. I'm not going to tell you the title yet, but my 2nd book is coming out. If you guys are excited about the 2nd book, I know a lot of people have read the 1st book, but if you're excited about the 2nd book, just go crazy. Drop some coffees, drop some fires, go crazy in the chat box. If you're going to get a copy of it, because the 2nd book is coming out, right? It's coming out. And it's not going to take too long. We'll have that book by the end of the year. Okay, we'll have that book before the year is out. That's my personal goal. Before the year is out, we'll have that book. It'll be published. And yeah, we got other plans for it. So I want to, again, everything's about leading by example. I'm here to lead by example. Leadership is about do as I do, not do as I say. I'm going to tell you what to do. I'm going to tell y'all what I'm doing. But I also got to make sure that I'm doing as I'm doing. I got to make sure that I'm doing what I'm telling you to do as well. So shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to my brother, Todd. Appreciate you, Todd. Appreciate you, Todd. All right, Todd is also a part of the Vincent Owens Group. He's in the Discord. Can everybody say, hey, Todd? Todd is definitely an amazing guy. I can't wait to continue to build in real estate, in blockchain, in entrepreneurship with my brother Todd. So shout out to you for taking the time to be here, because I know you have an extremely busy day ahead of you as well, man. So let's go ahead and jump into this bullish content. Now, the first thing that we're going to talk about is this. All right. Now, I'm not an economist, and I'm not going to flex and act like I am and try to be on this call. So we're going to research this stuff because it's a little like when I was in college, I don't know about y'all, but when I went to college, I didn't study finance. I didn't study business. I studied health. I was a biology pre-med major. I was supposed to go to medical school. Like I was supposed to finish medical school. I was supposed to be a doctor. So this is something that's new to me as well. So if your background is not in finance, if it's not, then I wanted to share that with you because we in the same place, bro. We in the same place, sis. All right. So the UK market sell-off slams gilt pounds, piling pressure on BOE. Okay. So if you guys haven't heard, the UK 10-year yield rises above 4% for the first time since 2010. The currency plunge sparks talk of emergency central bank action. Look at this. Currency's plunge sparks talk of emergency central bank action. What is the biggest problem that we know that we have within this world right now, within our banking system? It's a liquidity problem. We don't have enough money that's circulating fast enough. We're in so much debt that the money can't even circulate fast enough, right? That's why they raise interest rates to hedge against the inflation. So they'll continue to raise these rates. But what is that doing? As you raise those rates, it's continuing to devalue other countries' currencies. So it says that it sparks talk of emergency central bank action. What does that sound like to you all? Where my vets at? What does it sound like to y'all? Right? What does it sound like that's coming? What are they telling us that is on the way? Because they're talking about emergency central bank action. Regulation, absolutely, of course, but that's not it. CBDCs. There we go, Gmail. There we go. CBDCs. And shout out to you all on YouTube as well that's watching. But central bank digital currencies. Central bank digital currencies. Okay? Central bank digital currencies. Now, let's continue to pay attention. Let's continue to pay attention. Now, what they said was the sell-off in UK assets went into overdrive on Monday, sending the pound to an all-time low, slamming government bonds and sparking talk of emergency action by the Bank of England. We know that the Bank of England is literally pro-blockchain. They're for it. They're planning for it. That's why you have the Digital Pound Foundation, right? We've talked about these companies. Now, what I want to do is I want to go and do a little TA. I want to go into technical analysis because one thing's for sure, two things for certain is that the markets don't lie. So let's look at the daily and let's see what's going on in the daily chart of the US dollar currency index. All right, if you guys don't know about the US dollar currency index, all right, this right here is how you can tell the strength of the dollar. So the dollar right now is overbought in every way possible. It's so strong. We're up to 113.959 on the DXY. Okay. Oh yeah, Jarrell. Oh yeah. Yes, sir. Right. So we got the DXY, but then let's go over and let's go look at the GBP to the USD. Let's go look and compare the Great British Pound to the US dollar. Now, the Great British Pound is the leading currency. So I want you guys to realize when it comes to technical analysis, you need to understand how these charts work, right? And so we don't have time to go over charts, but if you want to learn technical analysis for real, I've been doing it for 5 years. I'm bringing back Mr. Blue. I don't know if Mr. Blue's on the line yet. I don't know if he's here. All right. However, if you hear Mr. Blue, just give me a clue real quick. If you hear Mr. Blue, give me a clue. But even if he's not, I've been trading with the same people for the last 5 years. Okay. And we've been learning these skill sets. So we're about to go extremely bullish into technical analysis. I promise you, I am not playing. I have not lost a trade in over a month. On XRP, I only trade XRP. I don't trade GBP USD, but I understand technical analysis. I started with Forex. See, a lot of people was clowning us back in the day. Y'all remember when they was clowning us back in the day, but we stuck with it. We stuck with Forex. Y'all know what I'm talking about. How many of y'all on the line right now? We stuck with it, and now we're making money on it. Even when they not talking about it no more, we're still making money on it. Come on, man. Stop playing with us. So here's the thing. When it comes to the Great British Pound, you can see a total drop, and this is the daily chart. So literally, the Great British Pound has been dropping since this consolidation of this 1.398. So as y'all can see, the Great British Pound is at compared to the US dollar is at 1.07631 now. All right, so we've literally had and let's measure it out from this top resistance level right here that's been marked off since my Forex days. I ain't even been on this chart. All right, but check this out. We've seen a 25.44% fall over the last 328 days. So almost 1 year. Over this last whole year, since the whole last year, since last year, we've seen the market drop 25.44%. That's big. That's big. So if you understood how to read this market, you could have been swinging this market. I just don't trade Forex right now, but I'm trading cryptos. So I understand that if we were on top of this market, we could have literally sold it from that top level and took it all the way down 3,540 pips times the standard lot size is how much money? Somebody drop it in the chat box. 3,540 pips times a standard lot size is how much money, family? And for y'all that don't know, pay attention. Oh, look, my brother Jarrell said I should have put a standard on it back then. Somebody do the math for me. What's going on? 30K. No, okay, 300. That's what I was like, 30K. 300K. How many of you all would have been okay with holding a $10? How many of you all would have been okay with putting $10 into the market on a sale back last year, 320 something days last year, $10 to 300 grand? How many people would have been okay with that? I would have been okay with that. How many people would have been okay? So that's what happens when you have awareness. That's what happens when you understand technical analysis. That's what happens when you understand how to buy the lows and sell the highs. But you can't understand that unless you get into technical analysis. So I wanted to pull it up because I know we got some Forex traders here. I know we got people that's interested in that. And if you are, tap in with me. Stop putting this off. This shit. Listen, I can't play no more. This shit is nothing to play about. When Vincent Owens call you and I'm like, yo, it's time to run, it's time to run. I'm telling you, because I've seen people that could have got into these. When I called you, I called so many people when XRP was at 20-something cent, 30-something cent. I called so many people and said you could have got in and it shot to $1 and you could have saw the same wealth as me. We're at the same levels now. Will you allow me to help you? If not, I'll see you on the next dip. That's how I'm keeping it these days. I'll see you on the next dip. But we're going to ride this wave past $1, baby. We're going to ride this wave past $3 because when they win the SEC lawsuit, you better believe we going to the moon. And if you don't got your bags packed, you're going to still be on Earth. Don't let that go over your head. Now, the tumble comes in the wake of government shock tax cutting budget late last week, which will fuel inflation and increase borrowing at a time of rapidly rising interest rates. So these interest rates are not just in the US, but it's global. It's led to a market crisis that's threatening to engulf Prime Minister Liz Truss's days-old administration as the country grapples with a cost of living crisis and a recession. How many people feel the same things here right now in the US? Let me know. You should be trading. Shout out to Nasu. You should be trading. Let's go, right? Now, they said the central bank has yet to decide whether to make a statement on market conditions. It's watching the market closely, according to someone with knowledge of the situation, right? It says the market remains very fragile, and with the moves being driven by emotion, it is very difficult to trade intraday, said Anthony Foster, head of G10 spot trading in EMEA at Nomura International PLC. All right. Now, let's keep pushing forward. Okay. So this is important to understand because the UK, London, the Great British Pound is a stronger asset than the US dollar. It's stronger. And with it falling, basically being $1 to $1, I think it fell to like $1.03 compared to the US dollar. Eventually, it seems like it's going to keep falling, and we'll be literally parallel with this. We already saw earlier this year the euro fell below the US dollar, the price of the US dollar. So we saw all of these things happening. And so what you got to understand is that there is a global reset that has to happen. Why? Because of this right here. Let me show you guys. Now, I didn't have this pulled up, but I'm going to pull it up for you. Because of this right here. This is called the world debt clock. This is real time. We've watched this. I've watched this raise to $30 trillion. I remember when it was at like 26, 25 trillion dollars. We're at $30 trillion now. Do y'all understand? Like, we are in so much debt up to our necks. There's nothing that can save us now except for one thing. And I believe that thing is Ripple. I believe that thing is the XRP ledger. I believe that thing is on-demand liquidity. I believe that's the quadrillions of dollars that is locked up in Nostro Vostro accounts through Ripple. We've talked about it plenty of times here. Now, first thing I want to do is, before we jump into crypto, because y'all know I love to stick with ISO 2022 compliance. I love to stick with those things. All right. Now, I want to show you guys before we get into Swift, I want to show you guys a video that CNBC put out. All right, it's 9 minutes, so it's a little lengthy. But if you guys don't know, and I want to know, does anybody not know? And be honest, on YouTube, drop it in the comments on YouTube and also here on Zoom and anywhere else that you see this. Is there anybody that does not know what Swift is? For real, for real. Is there anybody that maybe you've been here for a while, you still don't know what Swift is? It's cool. I didn't really even know until after this video. So I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to sit here and flex, because this video was so deep. And this is the only type you get this type of stuff on Coffee and Crypto. Like this right here is about to be hot for you all. Right. So if you don't know what Swift is, after this video, you'll understand what it is and why. And Swift is not payment processing, Ms. Zuli. It's not payment processing. We thought it was. It's not payment processing. Listen up. I don't know what that is. Give me 1 second. Let me run it back real quick. Okay, here we go. Let's get it.
If you've ever sent money to someone in another country, chances are you've used SWIFT, a messaging system used by banks and other financial institutions all over the world. SWIFT stands for the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication, and it's been around for almost 5 decades. It's headquartered in Belgium and is controlled by the G10 central banks, as well as the European Central Bank. It was founded with 239 banks in 15 countries and now connects more than 11,000 member banks in 200 plus countries and territories around the world. Trillions of dollars worth of currency is sent across borders every single day and is largely thanks to SWIFT. Before SWIFT, the world used telex, or a telegraphic transfer, to transfer funds internationally. The system was slow, usually taking between 2 to 4 business days to complete a transfer, and it involved describing each transaction with sentences instead of codes. So how does SWIFT work, and what happens if you lose access to this important part of the international economy? SWIFT is how banks communicate securely and quickly. Let's say I want to send money from Singapore to my friend Tom in the UK. My bank is going to require a few details, like Tom's account number and his bank's SWIFT code, which is a unique 8 to 11 character code that identifies each bank in the network. Once I keep those in, SWIFT sends messages between the two banks. Remember, SWIFT is a messaging platform, not a payment system. If these banks have an account with each other, they authenticate the payment request and Tom receives his funds transfer. If the banks don't have a relationship, the message will be sent through intermediary banks until the payment request is verified for Tom to receive his money. Because many institutions do not have accounts with one another, they rely on intermediaries. And these intermediaries usually have a presence in the United States, given the dominance of the greenback, which means they can be policed by US authorities. Alistair Milner, a professor of financial economics, explains more.
It's really about secure, automated payments. So they help banks make payments to each other in a secure way, but particularly in an automated way, so that everything integrates with the bank systems.
While SWIFT is overseen by a neutral organization, its influence has made it a tool for policymakers to impose economic sanctions on countries that step out of line. In February 2022, several Russian and Belarusian banks were barred from the SWIFT network as part of economic sanctions after Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
It's become a symbol. So it says, we can exclude you from SWIFT, and that's a kind of a substantial threat. But really, it's shorthand for saying we're going to exclude you from financial transactions around the world.
However, Russia is not the first country to be disconnected from the SWIFT system. North Korea and Iran have also had their banks barred.
What that kills is the automation of payments. What SWIFT allows is for all the messaging to integrate into the bank systems. And so there's no manual intervention. If I'm sending $100 somewhere around the world, SWIFT will make sure that gets through. And the true cost of that is probably only a few cents. But if I do it manually, it could easily cost $100 or more to get people to make the necessary telephone calls. But for the big payments of $1 million, the automation convenient, maybe it helps get things done a bit quicker, but at the end it doesn't matter so much. They can still communicate and get banks, if the banks are willing, to make those transactions anyway.
SWIFT is a critical part of the world's financial infrastructure, but it isn't the only system for international transactions. For example, the Russian central bank set up the system for transfer of financial messages, or SPFS, in 2014. As of February 2021, it had about 400 users, mostly Russian banks and legal entities. 23 of the users were foreign banks. China is also trying to create a system. In 2015, the People's Bank of China established the CIPS network, the cross-border interbank payment system. By 2019, it reached more than 3,000 banks directly and indirectly across 167 countries and regions.
I think the CIP system can be quite attractive for renminbi transactions. So when China is engaged in trade with particularly its near neighbors, we don't know what's going to happen as a fallout of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, but it's certainly possible that a response to Western sanctions, Russia will be engaging in greater trade with China. And one can certainly see the payments messaging for all those products and services going through the Chinese system rather than SWIFT.
How hard or easy is it for a bank to join alternative networks?
It's hard to see that being used much outside of those specific countries. Ultimately, you want to deal as directly as possible with the banks you have relationships with. And SWIFT is in a very strong position in being able to provide that required connectivity.
With any sort of legacy technology, you do have this stickiness that occurs with it.
Caroline Malcolm heads policy at blockchain data platform Chainalysis. I asked her whether cryptocurrency and blockchain solutions such as Ripple could replace SWIFT.
There's an adoption curve that really
Oh,
happens. You
hold on.
Your crypto native company.
What they said?
And be able
Y'all heard that?
Any sort of legacy technology, you do have this stickiness that occurs with it.
Caroline Malcolm heads policy at blockchain data platform Chainalysis. I asked her whether cryptocurrency and blockchain solutions such as Ripple.
Woo! They said Ripple on CNBC. They said it. This is a global commercial, and they could have named any other cryptocurrency, but they can't because Ripple deals with cross-border payments. Ripple, we know what Ripple does. And if you don't, the cryptocurrency that the company Ripple uses is called XRP. If you don't got XRP, you better get it because all of the banks will be processing this. So the question is, could Ripple be the company that's replacing the SWIFT system? Let's listen further.
Currency and blockchain solutions such as Ripple could replace SWIFT.
There's an adoption curve that really happens. You sort of have your crypto native companies, for example. You've got your sort of fintechs, and then you've got your sort of more traditional financial players. At that end of the spectrum, your traditional financial players, you are looking at sort of a number of different issues in terms of how to integrate, how to actually participate in new payment systems like crypto-based ones. But there's also a sort of an education process as well that has to happen, both inside these institutions, but also with customers.
How effective could cryptocurrency be as a workaround for economic sanctions?
There's a number of reasons why crypto is probably not your tool of choice. One, just as we have in traditional finance, crypto has systems in place which allow people to be alerted if they are actually interacting with a sanctioned entity or individual. Secondly, blockchain on which crypto is based is a permanent, immutable record that is publicly available of all transactions that are taking place on that blockchain.
Should SWIFT be afraid of blockchain technology?
I don't really recognize that view of SWIFT as ripe for disruption. I know there are a lot of technology startups who claim that they can grab a big piece of the action, but I think we've got to remember the importance in payments of network effects. It's really very difficult to try and attract all 11,000 banks onto another system, and especially one which actually, on the whole, works pretty well.
Now, if you listen to what he's saying, all right, I'm breaking this video down because it's so important, and this is my third time watching it, so I can really break it down for you all. I think I also dropped this inside of the Discord. So if you're in the Discord, I believe I dropped this video yesterday as well for you all to watch. If you're not paying attention to the Discord, man, I don't know what you got going on. Please pay attention to the Discord because I'm dropping things because I want you all to have it first. Like if you're part of my private community, I need y'all to have it first. Before we get on Coffee and Crypto, you should be knowing this stuff, right? It's important. It's imperative to your growth, to your education. So what he's saying is this. He's producing the FUD, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt, because they don't want you to invest into these things. He's also older. So I don't expect him to feel this way. He's a legacy system within himself. If we look at the guy, he's a legacy system within himself. He's been around for decades too. So I understand that he has to go in order for crypto to grow, in order for our financial system to go to the next level. And it's okay. You can't blame that because that's what his era is used to, is cash, is the SWIFT system. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's why I say shout out to people like Ms. Zuli, shout out to my mom, shout out to everybody who's on the line that has grown up and in these systems that have been the traditional system, and you are literally doing whatever it takes to make sure that you have this information. Shout out to you.
95% of SWIFT payments throughout the world that are all completed comfortably within 24 hours. That's not saying that SWIFT is perfect. All this discussion about disruption has been quite positive because it's actually accelerated changes in the SWIFT system, including the GPI.
GPI stands for Global Payments Innovation. It was launched in 2017 to provide end-to-end tracking of funds, to increase the speed of payments, and to help make international payments more transparent.
SWIFT doesn't actually transfer money per se. It's transferring information like banking orders. What's interesting about a system based on blockchain is that you will have certain services which continue to be intermediate, like centralized crypto exchanges, for example, but it also allows people to hold their own funds, their own different forms of value, and allows people to actually really kind of control that in a very direct way. And I think what we've seen in terms of how the industry evolves is that that's something that some people want to do. They want to have that sort of personal control. Other people still want to keep using an intermediated service. But the nice thing about this technology is it finally gives people that choice.
With blockchain technologies still developing, rerouting the globe's financial transactions through smaller messaging networks remains unlikely for now. However, in the long term, these networks could mature, and the way money moves around the world could change.
You don't detach from a legacy technology or legacy system like SWIFT overnight. There's been huge amounts of investments in that, but there are certain capabilities and features which, blockchain-based systems have that can't be matched through traditional systems.
One of the more interesting developments is what's known as central bank digital currency.
Wow.
It's certainly possible that in 10, 15 years' time, the businesses and individuals will get quite used to exchanging digital currencies, perhaps directly with each other. Now, in that case, the role of SWIFT would begin to change. It would still be the messaging to support international payments, but they would have to adapt to take account of that new type of payment. Certainly a possibility for the future.
Hey, did y'all enjoy that video or what, man? Was that a good video? Like, I felt like I learned so much more about SWIFT after that video, man. I hope that you all are paying close attention, because we're literally moving into a new realm. All right. Now, let's go to the SWIFT website, because I felt like this was important and imperative that now we move over to the SWIFT website. All right. So on the SWIFT website, it says SWIFT Go. There's a new standard in low value international payments. We're making cross-border payments simpler for consumers and small businesses. Financial messages and performances, right? So on September 20th, 2022, I guess this is how many messages went out throughout the SWIFT model, right? Now, continuing forward is directly on their website now. They're not hiding it. There is no surprise no more. All right. They said that the ISO 2022 for payments, to make sure you're ready to go live, to make sure you're ready to go live on ISO 2022 for cross-border payments and reporting in the start of the coexistent period, meaning the period from 2022 to 2025, where SWIFT and ISO 2022 will still be interoperable and they'll still coexist. But in 2025, SWIFT will be completely wiped out, and you will have ISO 2022 full compliance. And any bank, central bank, or private entity that is not on this new financial system by 2025 will be off. They will not be a bank anymore. They will not be a business. So they are forcing. And what's going to happen is you're not going to know what the hell this means, the same way you don't know what the heck it means for you to do a iOS update. When you do an iOS update on your Apple devices, you don't really know what it means. You don't know what that system is. You don't know what the subsystems are that they collaborate with. You don't know none of that. All you know is I got to do this for my phone to work. Am I right? Maybe we got some nerds on the line. I don't know. Maybe we got some other people on the line, but you don't know what iOS really does. But you know that if you don't update it, eventually that phone won't work properly no more. It's the same thing. If they don't update their financial messaging system, they won't be able to send messages throughout the world anymore. Central banks won't be able to talk anymore. You know that ain't happening. It's important to begin your preparation work now. They literally say that right now, right here. Y'all can't sleep on this, man. Y'all gotta, because let me tell you something. If you don't know what ISO 2022 is, let me show you. And then we're going to come back to the SWIFT. We're going to come back to the SWIFT website because we're not done there. But let's go look. Let's go look. Did I click on the right one? Let me make sure I clicked on the right one. No, I didn't. Here we go. So ISO 2022 for crypto. Are cryptos ISO compliant and can be used by banks? It says ISO has largely ignored cryptos until the last few years when CBDC started gaining momentum. Currently, financial institutions rely on ISO 4217 standard to identify currencies for global transactions. For example, the US dollar is assigned the code USD in this standard. Woo! I didn't even know that. So all of the codes that we have, USD versus JPY, when we're trading Forex, we're trading the ISO 4217 standard. So we didn't even know that that's the standard that it was. It's so interesting to me. So given the lack of ISO codes in the crypto world, cryptos currently use unofficial ISO codes such as XBT for Bitcoin. However, in the new ISO 2022 standard, cryptos could be assigned ISO codes if they are compliant with ISO 2022. This could lead to adoption by central banks and enable cross-border crypto payments through centralized financial institutions. Let's continue to go. This is big. Now, let's continue to go. So what is the ISO 4217 currency identifier standard? So it's the standard for fiat currencies. Like we said, it's the reason why each currency has a 3-letter ISO code. Wow, mind blown. Let's continue to go. Let's continue to show. What are the digital token identifiers? Digital token identifiers, DTIs, are identifier numbers or symbols that represent digital currencies. The main problem with transacting in digital currencies is that they don't have identifiers that banks can use to differentiate token transactions. The reason why they don't have identifiers is because there's no regulation for central banks to feel and for the SWIFT model to completely go through with giving them this digital token identifiers. But we're on the way now. So ISO 2022 will set a new standard of communication for all financial institutions worldwide. The 2022 standard will completely change the financial landscape and improve international money transfers. Europe will transition to ISO 2022 towards the end of 2022, and the US will implement in 2023. Get your ish together, family. Now, let's continue to pay attention because we're almost done here, and then we're going to go back. Now, what would make a crypto ISO compliant? The 2022 ISO update could give certain cryptos the advantage of being ISO compliant and chosen by banks for crypto payments. While the blockchain community often criticizes central bank services as slow and outdated, this update could signal they're ready for change. To be compliant, a crypto blockchain would have to fulfill all the SWIFT communication requirements, including the ability to pass customer data onto the blockchain. This will increase safety for customers and using centralized banks to send decentralized crypto. Now, ISO 2022 crypto list. Let's see which ones are already compliant. Ripple, XRP, is already a member of the ISO 2022 standards body. XLM is already a member of the ISO 2022 body. Now, if you're a private investor of the Vincent Owens Group, if you're a student, if you've done the first session with me, let me know, let the people know if I'm lying, because I'm not lying. Is our top 5 coins I told you guys to focus on over your next 3 months of dollar cost averaging, are those 5 coins not on this list? Am I lying? Did I not tell you all? Do we not already have our bags packed? Ebony just did her session this weekend. And I talked, and we literally went over these. We got them all. They like Pokemon. I was a master of Pokemon. Like my mama said, I was the Pokemon god. I had to catch them all. I'm the same way with these crypto. I gotta catch them. I gotta catch them all. Like these are like collectibles for me. I don't know. Maybe you just gotta change. I don't know. Maybe you just gotta change the way you see it. Maybe you just gotta change the way you think about investing. Make it fun for yourself. Every time I go and I dollar cost average in, I feel like I'm getting some new rare Pokemon cards, some new rare Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Got to get them all. Got to catch them all. So XDC is compliant, but it's not a member yet compared to this. I got to go and check these things again. All right. IOTA is compliant. IOTA deals with the Internet of Things. It's an Internet of Things coin. You got to have some IOTA. Algorand, compliant. And then we have 3 that are rumored to be compliant. And listen, I buy the rumor and I sell the greed. I buy the rumors and I sell the greed. I buy the rumors and I sell the greed. So I bought all these too because it was rumored. HBAR, rumored to be compliant. Quant, rumored to be compliant. Cardano, rumored to be compliant. This is not financial advice. I am not giving you financial advice on this call. If you're looking for a financial advisor, you got to tap in with our private community. Allow me to be your personal coach. I promise you, when we have this yacht party as the Vincent Owens Group, when we have these yacht parties, it's going to be well worth it. But you gotta believe now. You gotta see the end. You gotta see the end before it actually gets here, family. And I see what's about to happen. Now, what qualifies Ripple to be a member of this group along with such major players as Visa and MasterCard? Ripple is currently the 2nd largest fintech company in the United States, only failing behind Stripe, if you guys didn't know, right? So they're failing. Only reason why they're failing is behind Stripe. And the only reason why they're failing behind Stripe is because of this SEC lawsuit. Now let's continue to go. What is Swift's solution? Because now we know that Swift is changing by 2025. So their solutions are for the banking, capital markets, corporates. As multinational, you want industry standard ways to work with multiple bank partners for cash, trade, and corporate treasury, right? And market infrastructure. Are you a customer? Well, let's see. Access my Swift. Let's see if we can join. Let's see if we can join Swift. Let's see if we can join Swift. Title, name, number. All right. Email, password. All right. So we could create. It looks like we could create a Swift account. But here's the thing. It's gonna come to a point where they're gonna ask you for some codes. If you're a central bank, if you're this, that, and you're not gonna have them. That shows me that Ripple, XLM, all these XRP, XLM, they're not really meant for us to be investing in. We're so lucky that we have the opportunity to invest in things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, because there came a time, especially as a Black man, that you couldn't even step on Wall Street. And it doesn't matter. If you're a poor man or come from a poor family, you couldn't step on Wall Street either. You had to have a certain amount of money, a certain net worth. So guys, we are blessed to be able to invest these days. And if you don't take advantage of it, what happens if you don't take advantage now and you feel like, okay, well, I'll get on it next year. And then by next year, you can't even download MetaTrader 4 because Apple took it off the App Store. Or you can't even invest into these assets no more because you're not an accredited investor. But guess what? We put our stuff in a ledger and kept it safe, accredited or not. We got our stuff in a ledger. We got our stuff in wallets. We're safe. We're secure in the Vincent Owens Group. This is why I call my book, The Secrets of Crypto and Money, because these are truly secrets, family. And you have to pay to play. You can spend, listen, You can do it like I did it and spend the next 5 years researching, or you can pay for the Discord group. Our Discord group is $50 a month. You don't have to do private mentorship. Maybe you don't need private. Maybe you just need a group that you can join. If you would like to be a part of our Discord group, drop a 7 in the chat box, and I'm gonna drop something for you as well. It's $50 to join the Discord group so you can be on all of our calls, the trading calls, all right, everything, $50 a month. If you want the private mentorship where I help you build out your portfolio to a 7-figure, 8-figure, 9-figure portfolio in the future, because I'm gonna help you build it out the way I'm building mine, and that's what I plan to do, then cool. Join the Vincent Owens Group private coaching program and allow for me to work with you one-on-one. But don't sit here and try to do this shit by yourself. Excuse my language. But don't try to do this by yourself. There's no reason for you to do this by yourself. You have a community. You have somebody that care about you. You have somebody that want to work with you. We have office hour sessions Monday through Friday. Monday through Friday. What other, is there another community? Drop another community that you've been a part of where you have access to office hour sessions with the educator that you can connect with during a specific office hour time. I will wait. I'll wait. You want to know why I made office hour times? Because I was like, you know what? I have multiple high level degrees. And for me, when I was in school, we had office hours. And I used to hate that professor that wouldn't meet with me, didn't have office hour time. Y'all ever met a professor that didn't have office hour time? You had to just talk to him in class. For sure. Like for real. So look, before y'all go, give me 1 second. And what I'm going to do, give me 1 second, family. And what I'm going to do for y'all is I'm going to drop something for y'all, okay? I'm going to drop something for y'all. There you go. I'm going to drop it multiple times for the people in the back. Book a free consultation. If you're not a part of the Vincent Owens Group, book a free consultation. I dare you. Book is free. Book a free consultation. Let's sit down. Let's talk about what you got going on and let's work together because it's time for us to lock in. Not begging people to do this. Les Brown told me a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. I don't got time to convince people to change their life financially, to make the right decision. Because me and my family, my mom, my lady, we got our bags packed. The Discord group, we got our bags packed and we out of here. If you want to join us, book a consultation for free. I dare you. So with that being said, what I want to do is I want to pass it over to the community. Thank you to YouTube. If there's anybody that wants to share one thing you like, learned, or loved on this call, would love to get 1, 2, maybe 3 people to come up, and just share anything. Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed. And we love to hear from new people. And if I don't get any hands raised, I'll just call on people. That's what we on today. All right. We just call on people. Okay. And then also while we're waiting on people, a couple of updates. Let's go back to the calendar. I'm waiting on y'all to raise your hand and then we'll get out of here. Okay. But I want to show you guys this calendar. So if you're part of the Vincent Owens Group, if you're part of the Discord, you can just be in the Discord, not even private coaching. You can just be a part of the Discord. If you're part of the Discord, you have access to this. This is our calendar. Monday, we have success talk. Last night was amazing. We had a great talk about, what did we talk about, family? We talked about emotional intelligence. You need that. Tuesdays, we have coffee and crypto, 10 a.m. Wednesdays, we have the Blue Factory Chart Club. Does anybody remember the Blue Factory? Anybody been around that long with me, day trading? Is anybody still on the call that's been with me since like literally day one? Let me know if there's anybody on the call. Come on, Solo, right? Shout out to Solo. That's sis right there, right? Shout out to my mom. These folks been rocking with me since day one trading. We've been trading. I'm bringing back Mr. Blue, Solo. Chris Lionel will be a part of the team now. He'll be an educator. Every Wednesday, me and him will be attacking the charts He's trading gold. He sent me a trade when he placed the standard on a buy on gold this morning, and bro was in his bag. Woo! Yes, sir. So now you'll be able to catch bags in gold. That's on Wednesday. Forex, that's on Wednesday. Then we have our family and friends informational. I'm about to start sending all my people that want to be a part of the group. We'll do informationals every Wednesday for new people to come into the family. Thursday, we have our coffee and crypto. Friday, we have What the Tokenomics. What the Tokenomics on Friday. That's at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we also have our Blue Factory XRP Club trading call on Saturday mornings. That's where we get to the bag on XRP. So if you've been wanting to learn how to day trade, if you've been wanting to learn, what is necessary for you to be able to make money in the trading world, guys, just go ahead and hit me up. Let's get you rolling. Let's get you in this stuff. I don't have nothing else to say. It's going down for real. All right. So Miss Zuli, the floor is yours. I appreciate you for raising your hand. If there's anybody else that would like to share one thing you like, learn to love, please raise your hand. But until then, Miss Zuli, it's on you.
Good morning. Good morning. The question about so share something and look what love and learn and all that. Learn so much. Well, thank you for the SWIFT. I know what SWIFT is, except for putting in the terminology that's appropriate for here. But fantastic. Just again, refreshing, learning about SWIFT, learning it, getting back on track with ISO 20022, and I'm so excited about what we have already in our accounts. XRP, XLM, XDC, Myota, Algo, HBAR, Quant, and ADA, Cardano. That's very, very exciting to see that we are on track and moving forward. And so it's just more up to us to stay on track here with you, get the coaching, continue in the coaching, and support one another, and bring more aboard, because my concern is so many millions of people will be left out, and again, will be poorer than ever if they don't get on track, because if they've been left out in the banking situation, they will be left out here if we don't support and get behind Ripple and get behind XLM and so on. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ms. Zuli. I appreciate you for sharing that. And as soon as she said Quant, I got him. Did anybody else get a message from, I don't know if y'all follow Quant on CoinMarketCap, but what does that say right there? Y'all let me know. Let's get it clear. Let's get it clear.
Can see it.
Can y'all see it?
It's hard.
Hold up. All right. Well, I'll tell y'all. It says Quant is up 8.49%. We're at 100 over the last 24 hours. We're up 8.49% on Quant. Shout out to all my Quantopians out there. My Quantopians, my Quanta, I don't even know, man. My Quantopians out there. Shout out to y'all, all right? I made up a new name for the Quant world, Quantopia, all right? But shout out to you guys, all right? We are in our bags, okay? Told y'all, we got our bags back. Like, I just be chilling now, like, because I know it's gonna come a time where, like, man, I'm not gonna work a day. I'm not gonna do nothing else. Like, I don't have to do, there's gonna come a time where I'm never gonna have to do nothing else. Like, if nothing else was a person, it would have me in the dictionary. Like, if nothing else was a person, you looking at him, because I ain't gonna be doing nothing else. All right, Miss Sharon, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Vincent. I really love this community. It is so great. And it's true, Zuli, we do kind of have each other's backs. And I have to say, if you need financial advice, you really need to talk to Vincent. I joined his group and it's been phenomenal. He's helped me in a whole bunch of different ways, and especially in the technology arena where I have a lot of problems. So I just, I'm so glad that, and I kind of just stumbled onto this program one day when I was taking my husband over to the military base. And I thought, wow, this is really cool, because I didn't know anything about crypto. And I so love it. It's new, and I'm in the older generation, and I really want older people to understand what this is all about. So anyway, thank you so much, Vincent, and thank you, family, for being there for all of us.
Amazing. Thank you, Ms. Sharon. Appreciate you. So yeah, this has been an absolutely amazing call. If anybody else has anything, if you don't know how to raise your hand, you could drop a me in the chat box as well. If you have anything that you want to say, one thing you like, learn to love. I'm gonna call on one more person, man. I gotta hear from some people, man. Like I do. I want to hear from somebody. Let's see. And don't hop off. Don't be hopping. Don't be acting scared now. All right, don't hop off. Kalima, I'm gonna ask you to unmute. Is there any way you could come up, Kalima, and just share one thing you like, learn, love? I don't think this is your first time on Coffee and Crypto, obviously, but is there anything that you learned today, you liked, you loved today?
Can you hear me?
Yes, peace and blessings, and good morning to you.
Greetings. Well, I knew you were gonna call my name.
You know I'm gonna call your name.
Just because I didn't want you to, I was like, don't do it. No, I appreciate you. I love getting brand new information, and information that is, a game changer, paradigm shifting. That's to me like new life. And so this is new life for me in terms of just and paradigm shifting and game changing and all of that, because I just really didn't have this information or access to this information. I've been taking it all in. It's a galaxy of knowledge, but I appreciate how you're bringing it, your enthusiasm and your passion, and your desire to bring people with you always comes through. I can't speak specifically in terms of my steps, because I'm just taking them. Yeah. But it's exciting. It's exciting to come into a new world, into a new metaverse, and to know that the words that I speak in are words like self-determination. And this to me is an embodiment of that value, of that principle, which is one of the most, you talk about the 6 top things. That's one of my top values, is self-determination, personally and collectively. So this is about bringing forward that principle, that value of self-determination, and by updating our software. You talk about iOS system. So taking an old value of self-determination and what that can look like right now is a big deal. It's kind of radical. So thank you.
Wow, man, that was powerful. Like that was you should speak more on here, Kalima. That was powerful. Thank you. If y'all felt like that was powerful, drop some coffee in the chat box for Kalima. That was super powerful. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Man, this has been great. And I'm gonna call on one more person and we hopping out of here. I know y'all didn't want it, but I gotta call on Reggie, because Reggie been plugged in. Like when I tell you, like, I see Reggie on every call, and I don't know if I personally know Reggie like that. We might know. I don't know. I don't know where we met. It might have been Invest Fest. It could have been anywhere, Reggie. But yo, I'm about to ask you to unmute, bro. I just feel like you got something on your heart, Reggie, because you always be plugged in with us.
How you doing?
What up? What up? What up?
Yeah, I actually met Travis down at Invest Fest, and I've been tapped in ever since.
Yeah.
I just love the consistency. I appreciate how you guys break down everything piece by piece. It's helped me on my research journey, and continue grinding. Appreciate it.
Man, appreciate you, Reggie, and thank you for being here, brother.
No doubt.
Most def. So with that being said, family, listen, that was episode 42. Episode 42, man. It's a wrap. I appreciate each and every single one of you all for taking the time. And look, we're about to stop going live on YouTube. So shout out to the YouTube family. Make sure you guys click the link in the bio on YouTube. It'll take you to my link tree. Inside of that link tree, you can also set a private. We can do a free consultation if you're watching on YouTube. Click that link. All right, and make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel if you have not. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, it's Oh My Crypto Network. So OHMY Crypto Network. Oh My Crypto Network. We make you say OMC, not OMG on this show. Shout out to each and every single one of you guys, and we'll see y'all at the top, not from the top. Peace and blessings. And until the next one, peace out, y'all.